What's up, guys? This is Matt from Ramsey Voice, and I have some really big news to share with you guys, to all of my lovely, lovely subscribers. But before we actually get into the big news, I just wanted to tell you a quick story. So, 10 years ago, I was not the vocal coach that I am now. I was a total beginner at teaching voice. And it was kind of funny. Basically, the way that I got into this was I was taking voice lessons myself because I was playing in the train stations and my voice was blowing out after just an hour of singing. And so I knew that I needed to learn how to sing better in a way that wasn't going to destroy my voice, which is why I started taking lessons in the first place. And so I'd been taking lessons for a while, and my teacher told me, "Hey, you figured out what I was doing. Why don't you just start teaching this yourself?" And I was like, "No way, man. I'm going to be on tour. I'm going to be, selling gold records and stuff like that." I had no interest in being a teacher at all. And then I decided to actually try it and actually start teaching some of my friends for free and stuff like that, just to kind of get my feet wet. And so what ended up happening was I started teaching some of my friends, and I found out that I absolutely loved teaching singing. And the interesting thing about this was that there were so many moments where in my head I was like, oh crap. What do I do now? And the scariest part wasn't just giving somebody exercises. Like, I had enough experience that I can kind of figure out which exercises might work for somebody, or at least have kind of like some go-to exercises in the back of my mind. But the scariest part was always when my friends would be like, "So what should we sing? Like, what song should we sing?" And I literally had no idea what song to give to somebody. So most of the time, I would ask people, "Hey, like, what song do you want to sing?" And they would usually reply with a song that was like really, really difficult. And I think that their logic at the time was like, "Oh, I'm taking a voice lesson. I should like think of the hardest possible song so that I can learn how to sing it better." And so I remember very, very specifically one student that I had, Yanitza was her name. Yanitza was a friend of mine. What's up, Yanitza? And I'm so sorry for allowing this to happen. But I was teaching Yanitza, and she was like, and I was like, "What song do you want to sing?" And she was like, "Oh, one song that I really love is I'd Rather Go Blind by Etta James." And if you don't know the song, it's very similar to kind of the sound and the feeling of Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton. A lot of people think that it was kind of inspired Chris Stapleton's rendition. So it's got that, "Someone told me it was over when I saw you walking hand in hand." It's just kind of like this old kind of soul thing, and it only goes back and forth between these two chords. Now, what I didn't realize at the time is that this song was incredibly difficult to sing. Not only is Etta a phenomenal singer, and her voice type is nothing like Etta's. Yanitza's voice is a lot lighter and a lot more of a higher soprano, but also this melody, it basically brings you right into a female first passage all the way up to the A4 within like 2 seconds of the song starting. This makes it an incredibly difficult song to sing. Now, my ineptitude in being able to choose songs for singers went on way longer than I'd care to admit. In fact, I'm still learning every time that I teach a singer about the limits of that particular singer and what certain songs are good at doing. But as I started becoming a better teacher, rather than just panicking whenever a student would ask for a song recommendation, I started putting together tons and tons of Spotify playlists and listening to songs that people were working on and thinking about, oh, what is this song doing? Oh, and what kind of a singer would fit this song? And so I started putting together tons and tons of different playlists. And then over time, something kind of funny happened. I basically started working with more and more singers, and I found that certain songs were better for some students than others. And with this realization, I all of a sudden had a whole list of songs, a whole list of go-to songs that I could use to address whatever I heard from the singer in front of me. If they were singing a little bit lightly or too breathily, like in their chest voice, let's say, maybe I could give them Amy Winehouse or an Adele song or something like that. But more importantly, which Amy Winehouse song or which Adele song? What Adele song is going to stay in the bottom part of the voice that's going to challenge them? This is what I started thinking about. And that's when it hit me, like, why wasn't there a resource out there that had all of the information that you would need on a song? The vocal range, the title, links to the music, as well as the vocal range, and things to think about, like, this is a song that really, really challenges a female first passage, kind of like, I'd Rather Go Blind does. On top of that, why wasn't there a list of songs that were even just categorized by a singer's voice type, like alto, mezzo, and soprano, or their level, beginner, intermediate, and advanced? And so what I did was I started asking my students and on my email list and on my YouTube channel if they'd be interested in a song list like this. And so I decided to actually write a book. And the reason that I have these dark circles under my eyes today is I've had many, many sleepless nights putting together this book. And it is my absolute pleasure to present you today with the finished copy, the first edition of 150 vocal songs for altos, mezzos, and sopranos. 150 vocal songs is my comprehensive song list, featuring songs for singers of all levels in all different voice types. And on every single page, you're going to see tons and tons of information about every song. That way you're able to see very, very quickly the skill level that you need to have in order to sing it well, the voice type that fits it best, the vocal range, the key, links to the music, links to download the sheet music, as well as breaking it down into what I call the SMART system. And the SMART system breaks each song down into 5 core components: the vocal style, melody, vocal area or the vocal registers that you're staying in, the vocal range, and key takeaways that you need to learn from each song. I put this list together because it would not only help me and other teachers select songs for their students better, but I also thought it would be fantastic for vocalists of any level when they're looking for new songs to learn how to sing. So rather than just choosing a song blindly, you can actually just pick up the list. You can scroll through it by your voice type and your vocal range, and then boom, you've got a ton of different ideas of different songs that you can work on, and you know that you're not going to be blindsided by all of a sudden, oh wow, this song is way too hard for me to sing. Additionally, in the key takeaway section, I'm even giving you exercises to practice in order to make the songs better. I can tell you that well over 1,000 hours went into the creation of the first edition of 150 vocal songs for altos, mezzos, and sopranos. So if you've ever wanted to support my channel and also find a fantastic list of songs that are guaranteed to fit your voice, definitely pick up your copy today. I'm so, so proud that it's available now. Thank you guys so much for all your support, and happy singing.